Hi, how are you? I'm the Phantom of the Ore. This is my Building Real Houses in Minecraft series where I take a picture off Google and I build it in Minecraft. And today we're going to be building this house. Isn't that right, Mr. Horse? So today's house isn't very elaborate. It's actually quite simple, at least the part that I can see in the picture, because it kind of gets cut off. I think it's actually part of a bigger house. But anyway, this section right here is pretty rectangular, and the reason for why I'm interested in building it is because of the shape of that roof right there. I just find it to be pretty interesting. And that's really the only reason for why I chose it. I also really like the blue windows. I don't know how I'm going to achieve that in Minecraft, but it's worth a shot. And I love stone houses. The material is something that I think looks really nice. Plus, I really like the flowers around it and the landscaping. It's not a lot, but it adds just the right pop of color to things. So I really struggled with trying to find a good texture for this one. I went with my brain coral idea that I usually go for early on, and then I struggled to find the right shade of blue for the window. Anytime I have to make something blue in Minecraft, it's really hard because the shades of blue are limited. As you can see in the picture, sorry, there's something in my throat. As you can see in the picture, the color blue of the windows is periwinkle, but that doesn't exist in Minecraft. And also, I wasn't going to be able to make the thin parts of the window blue, so already it was going to be pretty difficult. I experimented with wool, concrete powder, concrete, banners for the shutters. Shutters are really hard to make too. Usually you can use trapdoors, but for these ones specifically, I had no idea how to do it. And instead of using the usual dark stained glass that I use for the windows, I decided to go with white stained glass because you can see that there's white curtains in the picture, and I wanted to kind of try to emulate that feeling of a bright window. I wish banners would make better shutters, but they move around too much and it just looks weird. If there was some kind of way to hold down banners so that they're not waving around, they would make pretty good shutters. So not feeling satisfied with the brain coral idea, I tried some terracotta. Now I know that's not stone and it doesn't have the same texture, but I figured I'd at least give it a try because the stone in the picture is a lighter color and I was trying to go for the lighter color. But in the end, I just gave up and decided to go with cobblestone. I usually don't like using cobblestone because I feel like it's the lazy way out, but in this case, I really think it was the only option. Even though the color didn't match exactly, I had plans to add texture later that would make it look more convincing. And then for the shutters, I decided to go with light blue wool. I also don't usually like using wool in construction just because it feels wrong to me, but this time I gave in and I just did it. And then I added in some texture with andesite, stone, gravel, mossy cobblestone, and I used warped wood trapdoors over the wool to add to the shutter look. The entrance is pretty easy to make. It doesn't stand out from the rest of the house. As you can see, it's flush. So in order to make the archway really stand out, I just used bricks in that area. And over here, I'm doing a double layer on the wall because I wanted to see what basalt would look like, but I wanted this specific part of the basalt to show, so I had to attach it to something in the back. But I ended up not liking it, so it didn't matter anyway. And I replaced it with bricks throughout. And then the other window I made exactly like the first window. I thought birch wood would look good in place of periwinkle because at least it's a light color. And the planters were very easy to make. I used podzol because I think it looks better than grass blocks or dirt blocks. I made the entrance just match the shutters, and in place of the circle on top of the door, I had to make, of course, a different shape, but I think I managed to match it pretty well. And now that the front face of the house is done, it's time to start the roof. This part was going to be the most difficult part because I had to figure out how to make the top of the roof all meet together nicely. It sounds like it would be simple, but for someone like me, that is not so simple. I put wool behind the windows in order to add that little pop of blue behind the window. I thought it was a pretty good way of recreating what I saw in the picture. And then here you just see me trying to figure out how to make the roof meet. Originally, I didn't make it tall enough, and I also didn't make the slope the right angle because the main part of the roof goes up at a harder angle than this part of the roof that sticks out. So I just had to change the angle of it with slabs instead of staircases, and it all met nicely at the end. If I actually had a house like this, I think it would be pretty nice to have a level like that where you're in the roof and you can see out windows in the roof. Just feels really cozy to me. If this video gets 10 likes, I'll do the interior of the house, and I'd actually be pretty excited about doing the interior for this one for that very reason of wanting to design that second floor with the windows in the roof. I made the roof out of deep slate tiles, and filling in the rest of the house was pretty simple, again, because it's just a plain rectangle. And I'm not going to worry too much about making the other sides of the house look fancy. This is just a basic shell. Again, if the video gets 10 likes, I'll go back and enhance it. But for now, all I did was just add some texture to match the rest of the house. And this house doesn't have any lighting outside of it, so I didn't add any light. Obviously, in survival, if you're building this, you would need to add some lights, but we don't need to do that here. I used concrete powder for the sidewalk around the front of the house, and then made a garden area using different varieties of leaves, including azalea leaves, which are becoming one of my favorite things to decorate with. They really add a nice pop to the bushes. A little bit of bone meal around kind of gave it more of a natural look because it's not necessarily a super manicured garden. It's kind of like a little bit more wild. And here's the final product. I think I actually got pretty close. I'm surprised. I didn't think I was gonna get that close to the picture. I thought it was gonna deviate more. But anyway, I think this house, if you wanted to build it in survival, would be probably one of the easiest ones out of all the houses I've built so far. And it really doesn't look bad. So what do you think? Would you want to live in a house like this? I think it's one of the more charming ones that I've made. Sometimes it's the simple things in life that are nice, you know? Now the house in the next video, that one is gonna be a little bit more complicated, but I'll tell you about it when I get there. That one should be coming out next Sunday. Don't forget to follow me on my social medias. I have Twitter and Tumblr. I use them both fairly often. Right now I'm doing Inktober, so I'm sharing all of my drawings on there, although honestly I'm not an artist, so don't expect too much of me. And I've also recently started playing Hollow Knight on top of my Minecraft videos, so if you're interested in that game, go watch my new series. I also have a Facebook you can follow me on, although I'm not really sure what I'm going to be doing with the Facebook yet, but I have it, just in case. If you've been following my channel for a while, you'll notice that I haven't uploaded in a few weeks, and sometimes when that happens, you may be wondering where I am, if I've disappeared. If you follow me on my social medias, you'll know what's going on in my life and when there will and will not be an upload. That's that's why I like for people to follow me on there, because it's so much easier to update everyone that way. If you like these videos, you find them entertaining or inspiring, please like the video, please subscribe. I'm really excited to have passed the 100 subscriber threshold, but I'm still a very tiny channel, and that's okay, but I'd love to have you. Thanks for watching, and have a wonderful day.